Oh, I think that will come very soon. There is a supermarket chain in Europe somewhere that had or has checkout lanes, which are called chatty lanes. So if you want to talk with the person, to sort of chat a little bit with the person who's cashing out your groceries, you can go into that particular lane. And if you don't want that, you can go into a different lane. A lot of people go into the different lane. Whenever people have a relationship with a brand that has this sort of emotional attachment to it, there's always a person lurking in the background somewhere. And oftentimes the person would be an influencer who they associate with the brand, and their relationship with the influencer is really rubbing off on their relationship with the brand. One of the things I advise companies around is, well, perhaps you want to create or find an influencer who can work in this way. AI-powered virtual influencers, because A, you don't have to pay them, and more importantly, they'll never get old, and more importantly than that, you can control them. They'll say just what you want. They'll always be on brand, and they'll never have a scandal, unless, of course, you want them to have a scandal, in which case it'll be just the right kind of scandal. So they offer a lot of control in the branding process. An airline, or a bank, or a credit card, or anything like this where there's sort of repeated, frequent interactions. I could definitely see a situation where when you talk to Amazon and they've got Alexa, instead of seeing a screen that just pops up with a bunch of images, you just see Alexa's face, and she or he, depending on your preference, says, what are you looking for? And you say, I want a dehumidifier. And Alexa knows, oh, are you still having those issues in your basement, right? And here's what I would recommend for a house of your age. And I know what your house is like. I know what your foundation is made of. And I know where you live and the humidity where you live. And here's exactly kind of what I would recommend. And so long as there's trust there, in the process of doing your shopping, you could absolutely build a strong relationship the same way people build relationships with salespeople or service people that they interact with in commercial settings. It would be comforting if I were to tell you no, but from what I see in the examples that we see, there's no reason to think the answer is no. People who fall in love with chatbots really fall in love. And in fact, sometimes the relationship with the chatbot can be deeper and more intense than with a person because it's kind of a perfect lover, right? It always meets your needs. It always does what you want. It always has time for you. It always thinks your jokes are funny. If you, in a normal social relationship with a person, if you want the person to listen to your boring stories, you have to listen to their boring stories. But the AI just wants to listen to your boring stories, right? On and on. So this is very rewarding. This is, emotional brain candy, right? Or heart candy, you might call it, or something like this. And it has the potential to create a very deep relationship. God, I hope not. It's really our connection to other people that makes our life meaningful and important, because we're important to someone else, right? I'm important because someone else needs me in some way. The chatbot doesn't need me. I'm not really important if I just have this relationship with these chatbots. So I don't think it can replace human relationships at a deeper spiritual, human, existential level. But something that does worry me is I think about human relationships as providing us with emotional, and I would say spiritual nutrition of a certain kind. And it's a little bit analogous to food and the nutrition that food provides us. In this metaphor, AI chatbots are like junk food. They taste very good, right? But they don't really provide you with the same deeper nutrition that you need at an emotional level or at a spiritual or at a human level. But when you look at the number of people who eat nothing but junk food, it's not reassuring.